To prove my chud nature, huh? Heh. Think I proved that any day that I go online and start tweeting, dude. Also, V-tweakers are stupid. You know, honestly, I'm thinking about getting a VTuber avatar just to piss people off at this point. I have no use for the whole VTuber thing. I don't get it. I don't personally enjoy it. Like, I don't watch any VTubers. But I'm starting to think, like, if this is such a big deal for so many people that there are, oh, these alt-right, evil, bigot VTuber people, it's like, yeah, I might as well just jump on that bandwagon. They're already gonna think I'm a bigot anyways. Hey, Mahendra, how's it going, dude? Oh, man, guys, I should just do a 5-minute stream and say all the things I like are good, all the things I don't like are bad. That's it. I'm tired. I'm going to bed. That'd be the best thing ever. Because holy crap, I'm tired. So, first and foremost, my twins are officially no longer in single digits. My kids turned 10 today, my two younger ones. And it's bittersweet because now I'm just officially getting old. At this point, I'm like, holy crap, I'm a year away from being 40 almost. My kids are no longer single digits. My oldest is basically a teenager at this point. Use an ugly bastard as a VTuber avatar. Mari will use VTuber avatar. I think Mari has streamed once or twice when she was streaming with an actual webcam. But I think she would do great with, you know, the whole VTuber thing. That's okay, I'm kind of tired here. Dude, Ghost, honestly, I am so physically, mentally drained. It's absolutely insane, man. Gonna start wearing Depends? I should have started wearing Depends a long time ago because I have a back injury that has been nagging me for like 12 years. And one of the things it does is it hits the nerves in my lower back that connect to my bladder. And it makes me feel like I have to pee all the time. Especially if I work out or lift anything heavy for a long period of time. So I should just wear Depends and just pee myself basically every day at this point. Life would be so much easier. Old man Mac, yeah. I have only 22 games so far, and I'm good so far until a Resident Evil Code Veronica remake, Resident Evil 0 remake, Resident Evil 5 remake. It's a lot of remakes. 34 without kids and still feel old. Yeah, you know, it's not just about your physical, like, numerical age. There's other factors that weigh into it, too. Like, I know people, I've seen people who are younger than me who I would have sworn were older than me, because personally, like, yeah, I know that I look okay for my age, even if there are days where I feel like I've been, like, taken out to the woodshed and had the shit kicked out of me. Today is one of those days. I'm in so much pain right now. Sounds like a hell of a plan. No, but honestly, like I was saying before, with all the VTuber stuff going on, I was going to talk about the VTuber stuff tonight with Kersha, but honestly, I talked about it in my video with Thomas Mahler last night. I just don't care. I don't know. Like, it's so many people have covered it, and there's so much to it. I'd rather talk about some other stuff. Okay, so guys, before we get going here, before we actually talk about some of the gaming-related news, I do have to share, like, the two worst things I've seen online today. You just pee on whoever's closest to you. That's the way to go, man. That is definitely a choice. But occasionally I find someone who's into it. I'm not going to name names, but I'm pretty sure that somebody I follow on Twitter is. So I don't know if she's single or not. She's joked about it, but like that's a thing for people who are into it. That is definitely a thing. I don't quite get it. Hotel Has Been. Yeah, dude, I've seen clips of that show. So like I was saying, the I don't know why this thing doesn't work. Why doesn't this work for me? I'm supposed to be able to pin comments in Streamlabs here. It's supposed to... Well, hang on a second. It's not there. Where's it supposed to be at? Let me see. Let's switch to this screen here. Let's switch screens and see what happens. Oh, boy. Let's sign into chat. I'm already signed into chat. That is so dumb. Pin message, that won't do it. Pin message just pins it to the chat. Man, nobody wants to watch Gunnar Namicon Part 2? We're at 83% for Not a Chance in Hell. Come on, guys. One of my favorite stories is spending my 21st birthday stranded in the Mojave Desert. Wish the coyotes would have tried me, man. I had a Bowie knife and an attitude. That would have made for a hell of a story. Dude, that sounds like something that Sungrant Studios would have talked about in all of his videos about how I stopped a bar fight, or I stopped coyotes from attacking this small family of squirrels or something. I don't know, man. That dude's gone so far off the deep end. I wish him well, I really do, but after all the crap that he's pulled, I'm like, I just couldn't take it anymore. Yeah, it's just what's a thing? I walked in on the wrong part. Burner, the whole relieving yourself on somebody else. I was hoping for a third option on the vote. Do we really need to? We don't need to do anything. Like, this is entirely optional. You don't have to be here. You don't need to be here. I want you to be here. It's like the whole Michael Scott thing about how I need to be liked. I have to be liked. What's topics that we're going to discuss today? Well, we're going to talk about Doom: The Dark Ages, what little information we have about it. In fact, I needed to pull up... In fact, let me think about that real quick. I wanted to pull up some current articles on it due to the fact that I'm seeing mixed messaging about whether or not there's performance issues with the game or not. Let me see what the current news says. Because the game officially launched in advanced access today, I do believe. All right, so there's one. It's currently unplayable. We'll add this to the roster. Yeah, Burner, it's not anything you want to know about, dude. Honestly, it's probably not good. Looks like Vera, Arch, and Cabrutus are already playing it on their streams. I'm not subscribed to Arch or Cabrutus. I didn't know Vera was streaming tonight. That's new. She mentioned that she was going to start doing more live streams, I guess. I don't know. And then I know that there's probably other people covering it, but I haven't even watched it, man. I've been so freaking busy today. De Nouveau strikes again. Yeah, basically, I think that's what it all boils down to. So, okay, before we jump into the rest of it, guys, here's the best, the best worst things I've seen all day. So, you got to compare. You got to tell me which one is worse. All right. So we have Hollywood actress Halle Berry being criticized by her fans after she uploaded a video of her and her man laying in bed completely in the buff, as the 58-year-old actress announces to the world that she was preparing to get piped down, essentially. And then we have an Asus ROG Astral RTX 5090 Dahab edition, which is $7,000. So I'm going to play these both for you guys. You tell me which of these two is worse. I just want to get these out of the way before we start really talking about things that matter.
So, showed y'all how my day started, how my Mother's Day started. And now, I'm going to tell you about, I'm not going to show you, I'm going to tell you about how my Mother's Day is going to end. You know, right, man?
Yes. I wish you hurry up, too.
First of all, we got our Let's Spin, because Let's Spin just came out in this cute little travel size. And so since we're in Cannes, France, I traveled with it for the first time. And we're about to give it a spin.
You about to Cannes with Van.
I think those gummies were kicking in.
Happy Mother's Day once again, everybody. I hope all of you are somewhere spinning.
Oh my God, I ain't never been so happy to have Mother's Day come to an end.
Yeah, so there's that. And this is one of those, you saw it, or I saw it, now you guys had to see it. I don't understand what the hell this is, but gross. Just absolutely gross. Cringe. Yeah. All right, so there's that. But honestly, not to be outdone, I think this is actually worse, because as a quote-unquote, air quotes, gamer, as somebody who doesn't have infinite amounts of money to spend on computer parts and components, she's so high, she might be high. This right here, I don't know if I'd call this cringe or just completely retarded. Old people should not be allowed to use smartphones. Well, the thing is, I think she was being paid to advertise whatever sort of lube type applicant she was using, whatever it was. My face when I sold my soul and then become an industry sellout. Pretty much. That's pretty much what it comes down to. All right, so here's this one, the Dahab edition of this Asus GPU here. Okay, look at this thing. Just freaking look at this thing. Like, okay, when I finally upgrade my GPU, I'm gonna be like $500. It's probably that ballpark price range that I'm looking at, $500 to $600, and then that graphics card's gonna have to last me the next 2 years before I buy another computer at any point. This thing here, this is, oh yeah, Ghost, this is absolutely ridiculous. Why would you ever need this, is what I want to know. It's a solid gold GPU. So it says it starts at $7,000, but features $700 worth of real gold. Yeah, made for Saudi Arabia. I mean, I know that there's people who were scalping GPUs at one point for like $1,500, $2,000 maybe. This is just retarded. It's so try-hard. Yeah, you know it. That is the definition of try-hard right there. But yes, these are the two worst things I've probably seen today. Now, there's other worse things, but I can't show them on YouTube. So these two are going to have to settle for my nominees for the two worst things I've seen today. But guys, just so you know, DB Wild says, just a friend visit over the weekend, and he's a techie nerd. And he was talking about this card and how bad he wants it. Seriously? I mean, yeah, Samuel Frank, I'm with you there. Rather just set my money on fire. One of those, but why? Yeah. But glad that DB Wild is here because I didn't have time to do anything with my setup tonight. DB Wild has been so gracious to take his time that he actually has created several different variations of AI intro music for the stream. So by my next stream, by Wednesday night, I think so Wednesday we're going to play Doom the Dark Ages. And I think it's going to be available on Game Pass on Wednesday night. Hopefully by then I will have the new stream intro set up. The video is probably going to be the same, but I'm going to use his intro music. So again, thank you, DB Wild, dude. I freaking love what you do with that. I know not everyone's into AI music, and as a general rule, I don't spend much time listening to it. But for an intro for my stream, I think it's going to be fantastic. Gold jewelry is more useful than gold GPU. Well, yeah. As a pirate, that card is booty I would never ever go after. Oh, it would be hilarious if a rich YouTuber bought that and destroyed it on camera. No, man, I hate it when people do that. I absolutely hate it. Yes, Saudi and Dubai have infinite money. So, Geek Hazu, there's a funny story about that. Because about 6 months ago, I was headed home from work, and it's on one of those situations where you have a toll when you go through this tunnel type thing. So I was already prepared that I had to go one way, and I didn't want to have to pay the toll all over again, right? So on the side of the road, pulled over, is this little Arab dude, and he's waving somebody down. So I pull over, and of course I'm strapped. So I'm like, okay, if he tries anything, I can defend myself. I'm not too worried about it. But he's all like, oh, I'm from Dubai, and my car broke down, and we need gas, and, you could take me to gas station, bring me back. And I'm like, okay, but literally, dude, I have places I have to be, I can't. Not to mention, I'm not willing to take that risk. If I had a gas can, I might have gone and gotten the guy gas and come back and just given him gas. He starts taking off his jewelry. He's like, I'm from Dubai, I'm very wealthy. Here, take my necklace, take this, I'll show you that I have money. I'm like, no, I don't want your gold jewelry, I believe you. It's it was a very weird experience. Somebody else pulled over, and I was like, I'm gonna let him be somebody else's problem, because shit weirded me out, not gonna lie. It was very strange, very creepy. But yeah, the whole Dubai thing, it's so bizarre. The amount of money that exists over there in that region is disgusting. I have no problem with people having money. I live around thousands of rich people. But This is like that wretched excess of money. Once I figure out which one you're using, I'll likely whip up a lyric video version of the same one on my Chromium 8. Oh yeah, for real, dude. I think we're gonna go with the synth rock version, man. Just give the gold GPU to poor or homeless. Yeah, too bad you couldn't actually, like, just give it to somebody. It wouldn't do them any good. You'd have to sell it. Some folks don't want to see lyrics, but that's what I do. I think lyrics in a video, if done properly, can be cool. Like, for me personally, I would probably just play it as part of my intro. But you've been to Dubai several times when you were in the Navy. Yeah, I don't know. It's one of those things that I don't know that I'd ever want to go there, because while I'm sure that there's some fun stuff to do, I have heard that there's a lot of, basically, if you're rich enough, you can get away with doing anything over there. Yeah. Oh, good God. Oh my God, when will the family drama end? Oh no. I can't even talk about this on stream. I just got a text message about family stuff, and it's like, oh my God, I'm so done. I can't anymore. I just can't. Did you miss the latest Grummz expose? No, I mean, it came out, I think, this morning. I haven't watched it yet, though. Use money wisely, yeah. Yeah, unfortunately, most people don't. That's just reality. Most people, the minute they get money, they spend it. All right, so let's talk about Doom. Doom: The Dark Ages, the reviews came out a few days ago, and overwhelmingly positive, which again is always a concern, especially when it comes from critics. Critics are always going to glaze things that, whether or not they line up with their ideological worldview, critics want access, right? The games media wants to retain access to these studios. They want the inside scoop. They want to be the ones first in line to test something out, because that's how they make money. That's how they get clicks, is they have the earliest scoop on things. That's how the news cycle works, right? You did the intro for Philip Chan's Coomcast, and he uses the lyric version because he said he was too lazy to make a video himself. That is exactly how I would be, dude. Dubai's built on modern slavery. Look up the kafala system. There's no other way to describe it. F that place. Yeah, Samuel, again, all I know about it is Dubai has a lot of stuff that you can do. Well, Pirate Bob, I thought everything was fine. Without going into too much detail, it has to do with some of my mom's relationship stuff, which is unfortunate because I thought she had things figured out. Ugh, but it sounds like things aren't. And it's like, it's my kid's freaking birthday today, and I thought everything was good. And now I'm like, I started getting the impression things weren't good, and now I have no idea what to expect, you know? Yeah, on every AAA game, with the exception of if it comes from a studio or from a developer where the media has an axe to grind against them. Keeping up with the Hamas, Diddy Bin Laden, Epstein Piker situation. So, NS, did Tectone give Hassan that nickname? Because I've seen him say that several times. Actually, the funniest thing is, am I saying his name right, Tectone, or is it Tect1? I don't know. That dude actually DM'd me the other day because I said something nice in response to some of his stuff he posted, and he just shot me a message out of nowhere, and he was like, hey man, thanks for your encouraging words or whatever. I'm like, that's cool, all right. Have fun with that and mute the phone. Oh no, the kids are in bed. The kids are in bed. They both, my daughter and my son both had baseball games today. My daughter's team crushed it. My son's team lost. It's kind of bittersweet. Yeah, it's a bummer. Come here, Pop. Come here. That was originally given by Nux, and Tectone has just been adding stuff to it. Oh, okay. City was built with blood, literally. Yeah, I always imagine Dubai is not exactly the coolest place. Tectone, okay. Yeah, no, it was funny because I knew of his tweets. I'd never followed him on like a live stream or on YouTube. But then, yeah, I said something about like, yeah, man, you know, because he was talking about this stuff with his dad, right? Because his dad's like a piece of shit or whatever. But I was like, you know, it's hard enough for me because I don't have a relationship with my dad anymore. So, I can kind of relate. And yeah, he just shot me a DM saying, you know, thank you for the nice words kind of thing. And I'm like, that's cool. How come your son's team is always losing? No, Geekazu, you're not wrong, man. So my oldest kid, and I'm gonna deviate into baseball dad shit for a second, guys. Then we'll get back to video game stuff. So I have 3 kids, 3 teams. My oldest kid's team They don't have a winning record at the moment, but going into their playoff brackets, they're in a pretty good position because the games that matter, they're like 1-1. So they lost one, they won one. And the game they won last week, it was better than 90% of the professional baseball teams or baseball games I've watched in my entire life. This game was gritty. It was stressful. They had to claw back. They had to like get the lead, tie the game after an error, and came back and shut them out. It was the most incredible experience watching baseball I'd ever had. And these kids are like 11, 12 years old. It was fantastic. Then there's my daughter's team, which I help coach, and she's probably going to be in the championship for the 3rd year in a row. Her team is just that stacked, that good. Then there's her twin brother's team, which is coached by a really nice guy. And basically at practice, they all just kind of sit around and do stupid shit. And there's absolutely no drive to win. It's just bad. Tectone is big chilling, probably one of the coolest dudes in the business. He seems pretty cool. Again, I don't want to vouch for somebody who I don't know or, glaze somebody too hard who I know nothing about. But from what I've seen, he seems like a pretty all right dude. Kids baseball over TV baseball for real, dude. It's because they try on like paid people. Yes, exactly. People paid millions no matter what. Yeah. No Mamba mentality. Dude, it was honest to God, like the craziest thing watching my son's team, because it's a bunch of 11 and 12-year-olds, right? And they had to, it was the grittiest, guttiest performance I have ever seen from a kids baseball team. That shit, I mean, that whole place was rocking. It was insane. No. Oh, I'm not taking credit, NS. The farthest thing from it, my daughter's coach from last year, her coaches from last year that coached her up into the pitcher that she is, because my daughter is one of the best pitchers in softball right now in her league. And she's young. She's, just turned 10 today versus all the other girls that are like 11 and 12. She just beat her former coach from last year today, and he was pissed. I'm talking, we outscored him by 5 times. It was like 15-3 when that game was over. And my daughter, the 2 innings she pitched, she shut his team out. Like he's a good sport, but he was a little chippy. Definitely not gonna lie. They trained my daughter up, and then this guy, that's her head coach, drafted her this year. So pretty phenomenal stuff.
Do I need to be liked?
Oh man,
absolutely not. I like to be liked.
Hey, Pirate Bob, thanks for becoming a member. Appreciate it.
Have to be liked.
Daughter be professional. Well, okay, but to be fair, they're all kids that are playing. But it's just sports are funny, especially kids sports. So much of it you have to let them be kids and just let them have fun with it. And the other half of it is you have to compete against the other adults who some of them just take it. Like, I take it seriously because I want my kids to do as well as they can. There are these guys who are just going to win no matter what, and they suck all the fun out of the room. It's pitiful. All right, so Doom: The Dark Ages apparently is unplayable on handheld gaming PCs at the moment, but it's not because the hardware isn't good enough. Oh yeah, dude, Pirate Bob, honestly, like, it's the funniest thing because kids are not a love-hate relationship. It's more about like the parenthood side of it is kind of a love-hate thing. Because as much as you hate the moments that suck, it's worth it in the end. It's just ultimately exhausting and stressful until the moment that they're out of the house and you go, where the hell did all the time go? It's de nouveau as always, exactly. The funny thing is, guys, they say unplayable on handheld gaming PCs. Do they really consider the Steam Deck a handheld PC? I'm really confused. Why don't they consider the Steam Deck just like a mobile console? That doesn't make any sense to me. It says the frequency of GPU driver updates for portable PCs really needs improving.
Absolutely not.
NS, what are you doing? Oh my god, dude.
Absolutely not. Do I need to be liked? Absolutely not. I like to be. Do I need to be liked? Absolutely not.
4 daughters.
I like to be liked.
Yeah.
I enjoy being liked.
Man, I can't imagine 4 daughters. 1 daughter is more than enough. Steam Deck is a Linux PC. That's funny. I thought they would have considered it a like a freaking just like a console, like a mobile console. Doing a better bit mentally, so just a celebratory gifted. Hey, dude, honestly, I'm glad to hear that your mental state is better. Because honestly, you asked me about that on the last stream, and mentally, the last couple of weeks, things have not been great. You know, nothing like the world isn't ending. Not living on the street. It's just the constant go with baseball season, work, personal life, no downtime at all. I mean, you guys know I have one video, two videos in the last I think week that I've uploaded, and then my secondary channel I haven't touched it in like 2 weeks. I had to skip some live streams, and in between there's been some good moments. You know, Mother's Day was nice with my wife, my mom, my mother-in-law. Not exactly the way we wish we would have wanted to spend the day, but your mental state is so important. Even if things look good on the surface, things aren't always what they seem, you know? So I appreciate you checking in, man, especially because I know you've been going through it too. So thanks again for the 10 gifted, dude. Let's see. You believe that's what it's considered? Oh, interesting. Console overlay, but it is a PC technically. All right, fair enough. All right, so it says we're only a few days away from public launch of Doom: The Dark Ages. id Software's newest entry. Take a leaf from Indiana Jones and the Great Circle, which used the id Tech 7 engine. The new Doom uses ray tracing. They mean taking a leaf from that. Dude, did they not have a freaking editor over there? My God. If I could just get paid to fix all the typos I find in all these articles, I'd be a very rich man. The new Doom uses ray tracing all the time for global lighting, reflections, and shadows. As I discovered in my performance analysis, it's not quite as demanding as you might expect. That's good, because when I play it on Wednesday, I'm playing it on PC, so we'll see. And even a handheld gaming PC can run the id Tech 8 powered shooter well for a few seconds. The above video has been captured on Asus ROG Ally. Set to its 30W performance mode with Doom Dark Ages configured to use the low graphics preset along with FSR performance. As you can see, it manages to pull a consistent 30 FPS for nearly 40 seconds before the drivers bailed out. The game launched with a big warning about how the ROG Ally's GPU drivers were old and not recommended. So it's not like the above crash is unexpected. However, frustrating part of all this isn't the crash or the blurry, heavily upscaled graphics. It's the fact that updating the GPU drivers for the ROG Ally is far harder than it needs to be. Unlike with AMD's desktop and laptop graphics processors, where I can download the Adrenalin software, I'm stuck waiting for Asus to release better drivers. So it seems like the performance is just a handheld issue, I guess, with the Steam Deck, because I haven't seen too much about performance issues anywhere else on PC. I could be wrong about that, though, guys. You also see the unholy but absolutely surprisingly based alliance of Asmongold and the India audience in the whole war situation. I have not seen that. I constantly hide behind immature humor. Why do you think I'm always making crude jokes? You know what, DB Wild? I was on to you a long time ago. Indiana Jones didn't use Denuvo. Interesting. Started running Linux on my PC, left Windows totally. Bazite is a Linux distro that is geared for gaming and a lot like Steam Deck. Oh, interesting. The editor probably doesn't have a degree at all in writing. Neither do I, man, but you don't need it. Just heard him to run Doom maxed at 4K, you need a 4090. Yeah, so Cage, honestly, that's one of those things where I know Pirate Nation was sharing it like, oh my god, this game is unplayable, because that's what gets clicks, right? But at the end of the day, it's like, the stats that they were showing was to run the game on 4K, you need a 4090. To run the game on 4K, you need X, Y, and Z. I don't run anything on 4K. Everything I do is, I think, 1080p, and I'm lucky and happy if I get 30 to 60 frames a second. So on my 5600 XT, I'm sure the game will run just fine or well enough on like low to medium graphics. I'm okay with that. If I had a better graphics card, I might have a quibble with it, but you know, whatever, it's fine. The Asmon stuff has been on fire lately. I've seen him talking about like the Kershaw stuff, that Anna Valens character that's been trying to cancel her. Like I've seen him kind of wade into that. Him criticizing Hassan Piker, saying that essentially he doesn't care that he got detained, and personally I don't care either. But I haven't seen anything about India. You run 4K on all games on a 3090? Well, that's pretty impressive. So he is cover. I saw him cover the India-Pakistan stuff one time, but I didn't actually watch the whole video. Yeah, exactly. If the game runs in 60 FPS, that's enough for me. So again, Doom, the thing about it is, because we're in advanced access, I have no idea how many people are actually playing it. We don't really have any actual numbers. All I can do is go to like SteamDB that doesn't even have a copy of the game yet, because they don't typically get copies in early access. Most people just wait and will donate a copy of the game or whatever to SteamDB once the game officially launches. What is concerning though, well, excuse me, I'm having a, like, we had Mexican food after the baseball games tonight, so I can't stop burping. 75% positive reviews on 752 reviews on Steam. That's concerning. It's got a lot of viewers right now on Twitch, number 9 in wish lists, number 2 in top sellers. So currently, this is not top sellers like, you know, for the whole year. This is just currently this week, number 2 in top sellers. Obviously, the game's going to do fairly well. Launching on Game Pass simultaneously, it could still do what Claire Obscure did, where despite launching on Game Pass, it sold 3 million copies. I have no doubt Doom will do that the same thing. What I'm worried about is like the negative reviews and the actual playable state of the game itself. Again, with only 75% positive, it's kind of concerning. That Anna Valens dude is mental, 100%. You can use lossless scaling times 2 and you will boost performance by like 20 FPS and very little artifacts. Oh, interesting. Yeah, Mahendra, it's really funny. There are certain games that regardless of when they were made or what engine they were made on, for whatever reason, they just run really well. What's crazy is, like, Expedition 33 is one of those games that I know it's not like the most detailed game. Like, there's not a ton of different things going on all at once. It's a closed path, and it's all, you know, turn-based combat and everything else. But the game runs smooth as butter on my PC. Like, super smooth. India's been buzzing about him. I didn't see any of that. That is crazy. I saw him talking about the India-Pakistan thing one time. All right, so here's the thing, though. When you go to Steam, I don't care about the broadcast, and you actually look at the positive reviews. I started reading through these earlier. People are raving about this, even though they've only played it for like 1 to 2 hours. This person's played it from their Steam Deck, 1.2 hours, positive. It says, from what I've seen through the baseline, the new enemy designs look great. Even at 20 FPS, the combat feels solid. I like what they did with the shield and the glory kill replacement. Music's killer. This guy says it's not just a game, it's a pilgrimage. Brutal, blood-soaked 120 FPS pilgrimage where your only god is a spiked flail that turns skulls into prayer beads. Wake the F up, Slayer. Let's get to work. Runs beautifully, no stutters. Gameplay smooth and satisfying. OST is good. Rip and tear until it's done. So again, a lot of very positive reviews. Then you get to this one, 0.3 hours on record, 1 star. Doomed by the dark ages of optimization. I have about 2 hours in, but Steam is showing a lot less because I switched to offline mode due to crashing. AAA gaming in 2025 has officially gone to hell, and not in the fun shotgun in each hand kind of way. I'm so tired of fighting the game before I can even fight in the game. Trying to play Doom the Dark Ages feels less like ripping and tearing and more like begging and praying that the game doesn't turn my PC into molten slag. Again, he doesn't even put his PC stats here, so it's kind of interesting that again, I understand not everyone's gonna like, there's more here. Okay, cool. I just want to enjoy a game. I shouldn't have to run tech support for an hour. I have good hardware. Most people would assume a 4090 and 7900 would tear through a Doom title. Yeah, okay, so 4090 and a 7900X, that should be more than enough. Huh. That's very interesting. So maybe it is a case-by-case basis. I don't know. That's a very long review. Holy crap. Final verdict, DRM plus RTX out of 10. They promised Repentir, instead I got lag and despair. Another guy says, forced ray tracing is tragic. It tanks any potential performance the game might be capable of. So there are a few people complaining about performance issues. Oh, Expedition 33 is so good. Such a good game. Like, honestly, I've taken a break from it the last couple nights when I haven't been streaming or making videos, and I'll just play like a round of Insurgency or two, maybe like play it for like an hour, because Insurgency got a new update, new maps and all that. I hate the new map. I have not learned it yet, and I'm getting destroyed. But Expedition 33 is one of those games, I'm going to finish that game before I go back to Black Myth Wukong. I'm going to finish Expedition 33 before I go back to First Berserker. The game has me hooked. It is so freaking solid, it's not even funny. Yes, turn off YouTube history to stop YouTube recommendation. Yep, exactly. Well, the thing about Asmongold being in the algorithm is the fact that it's not just him, it's that people talk about him, people react to his reactions of other people's videos, so. Most Doom reviews are good but not excellent, like a 7.5 out of 10. That is exactly where it sits on Steam reviews right now, Remy. So that is probably perfect. 74.93% out of 752 reviews. Yeah, definitely worth it because Pirate Bob, like I said, I've told this story before. You click on the wrong video one time. One time, you get some video recommended to you. You don't know why it's there. You click on it out of curiosity, and then slightly similar videos will flood your algorithm. So you have to be very careful with YouTube what you click on. Yeah, 4090 not running Doom well. Oof, exactly. We don't have player counts yet. Oh, on Doom 3. That's a good question. I don't know. I mean, I played Doom 3 back in the day on my freaking Xbox 360, was it? Which one was that? Doom 3. Doom 3 Steam charts. I wonder if anybody's even playing this game anymore. I was one of those people that actually liked Doom 3. A lot of people didn't. Doom 3's got 21 people playing it. Ouch. But 86% positive out of 7,000 reviews on Steam. All-time peak of 560 people almost 13 years ago. That is insane. Beautiful game in every way. Yeah, so Cage, I've managed to avoid any significant spoiler. People are like, oh, this twist in Act 2 is super weird. I'm like, I don't want to know. I don't want to know. Don't want to know. Doom 3 player count over Assassin's Creed Shadows. Nah, Mahendra, Doom 3 doesn't have as many people playing it. At least Assassin's Creed Shadows still has what? Let's see here. Hang on a second. Oh man, I'm so tired. Steam charts. How many people currently playing Assassin's Creed Shadows on Steam? 3,000 and... Oh, sorry, 2,700. Oh, something in my beard. God. Feels like they're stuck together or something. Ow, God. My algorithm doesn't exist unless I actively go to my subscriptions page. I rarely see anyone I follow. Keep getting shown small channels I've never heard of. Given the state of the industry, I'm surprised the Doom protagonist is not an obese black trans woman with vitiligo on 3. Here's the thing. Here's the thing, guys. I know it's kind of a joke because I know that Andy Pants guy, who I don't even watch, he did that thing about Halo where it's like, oh, Master Chief is now a fat black trans disabled woman, right? And that video, that thumbnail, people shared it like there was outrage over it. There's people mocking it, people agreeing with it. I saw that thumbnail all over my freaking timeline. But there is something to that when it comes to like the vitiligo stuff. It's like it's a freaking fetish thing, you know? I'm not gonna watch anything about it till I get around and play it myself. That's definitely a much better way to go, dude. Because honestly, it's not like there's like massive spoilers in it. From when I played it, I kind of already knew ahead of time. Like somebody mentioned something, and I'm like, okay, well, I kind of figured what was gonna happen. But I've had so many games spoiled, and I just got to the point where I just didn't care anymore because it's like, well, if you cover games and you cover news, you're going to find out spoilers before you get a chance to play the game. It is what it is. You kind of like make your peace with it. It's still, though, it definitely saps a lot of the excitement and anticipation of playing a game out of it when you cover stuff on videos and on streams and talk about it. And it's unfortunate because, again, like the entire Kingdom Come Deliverance 2 saga, whether I played the whole game and loved it or played the whole game and hated it, I never got the chance because all the conversation around the game. So I was never able to play it and make my own opinion based on everything I played, going into it with like a completely like open mind. And it ruined it for me personally. Like I don't even know that until like I might wait another year. Hell, there might be DLC for Kingdom Come Deliverance 2 before I actually go back and play it and decide for myself if I like the game or not. We got a fetish for attractive women. That's not a fetish, man. That's just called being normal, okay? Let me see. Gives you a shot in the feels, yeah. Well, okay, Mahendra, the thing is nobody likes the vitiligo look. It's just one of those really simple, easy ways that they can do the virtue signaling shit, you know? It goes, oh, let's just take this character and make them like blotchy and mottled. It's not gonna be game of the year. No, Expedition 33 is gonna be game of the year, and I'm okay with that. Hey, Sally. Vitally good me is a sign that the black person's genetics are trying to tell them not to be black. Good luck with that. How's that gonna be? Like, how's that possible? The black and the white, what, fighting with each other? Oh my god. Why does it feel all the praise Expedition 33 gets? It's like people are talking about a movie. No, geek. No, absolutely not. I understand what you're saying, but I don't think it has any more cutscenes than any other game that I've played at, like any other RPG. Again, the Kingdom Come series has a ton of cutscenes, right? The Dragon Age games, going back, still had a lot of like cutscenes and all that. I don't think Expedition 33 has any more cutscenes than any other game in the same, like, similar genre. It's the combat and the customization is so freaking good, man. I understand what you're saying. A lot of times things feel artificially propped up, like The Last of Us TV show or whatever Star Wars show is out there, and all the media is giving it like 8 out of 10, 9 out of 10 when it's really just dog shit. Expedition 33 is not that way, man. It's really not. Yeah, Cage, and like I said, there are legitimate criticisms people can have about a game, and if you don't like Kingdom Come Deliverance 2, and you don't like Daniel Vavra, and you think that they screwed over people, and you don't like that they, you know, pandered to try to appease people, I have no problem with people having those opinions, and I can agree on most of it. What I can't stand is people who just, like, throw words around when they have no meaning. It's not a lot of people talking about gameplay, no, but dude, the gameplay is freaking... It's really good. It's really, really good. I'm sure YouTube ate my controversial person comment. Maybe. Well, you said Shiloh Hendrix is based. Dude, I don't know. I have such a hard time with that because I don't think running around throwing random racial slurs at children helps anybody. At the same time, I think you start doxing and harassing somebody who didn't do anything like violent. I don't care that she's raised all that money. I have no problem that Shiloh Hendrix has raised hundreds of thousands of dollars. I think it's stupid. I would never donate to it. But do I understand it? I understand it. I get it. But I'm not giving her my money. She doesn't represent me. I can be bigoted and racist on my own. Nobody's giving me any money. I'm not going to throw her $50 when I don't know a thing about this woman other than she said, you know, this word here at this person in this situation. It's like she could be like complete and utter, like she could be a crackhead based on the way she looks. Like I'm not throwing my money at this random person. Yeah, but Remy, the thing about it is, it's not just turn-based. The turn-based plus the quick time events with the blocking and the parrying and stuff makes it so much more enjoyable than just your standard turn-based game, personally. That's just my take on it. You know, obviously not everyone's going to feel the same way about that. There are people who are probably turn-based purists who don't want any quick time events, you know? I mean, Cage, like I said, I'm not telling people that they shouldn't donate or they should. I just don't care. It's like I've got my own problems. Like if I go out there and say the N-word and you guys want to give me $100,000, I'll take the money happily. I don't care. It's just like I get why people are supporting her. I'm just not gonna do it myself. You know? It's just not something that I would ever do. Oh, DB Wild, you're not gonna get an alert because I was on the wrong screen. Don't worry, I'll go back here and I'll play it again. Your 5 deserves to be recognized. Hang on. Wrong screen. Wrong screen. One more try. Smaller screen. There we go. Smaller screen.
Presents are the best way to show someone how much you care. It is like this tangible thing that you can point to and say, hey man, I love you. This many dollars worth.
Here ya go, bigot. Open mouth smile.
Here ya go, bigot. Well done, Streamlabs. You did a fantastic bang-up job there reading that super chat. Yo, New Black Street, how are you guys doing? Quick, somebody, you gotta pretend to be black. Dude, we were just talking about Shiloh Hendrix and the whole N-word thing, and New Black Street just raided us. Oh my god. Alright, y'all, we need to repent. Bunch of freaking racists in here. Holy crap. No, for real though. Atreus and Kata, hope you guys had a good stream. Appreciate y'all. I would not pay her, but equally I cannot believe that there's a bidding war with others paying an alleged murderer. Yeah, exactly, Pirate. So, like I said, I understand. I get it. I don't fault anybody for chipping in and donating because, like you said, it's basically like this digital arms race between the Carmelo Anthony supporters and the Shael Hendricks supporters. And I just personally, I can look back and go, yeah, I'm staying out of this. Dude, NS, I had no idea. Man, I had no idea at all. NBS is going to FatCon next year? Wait, is it a shoeless event? I gotta know. I gotta know if Kata's gonna be there, like, checking out all the sausage toes and stuff. I needed to ask him if specifically if there's a type of foot he likes. Or if there's a type of foot that he doesn't like. If there's no foot too gross for his liking, you know? I watch Atreus basically daily. Yeah, dude, honestly, I think YouTube unsubscribed me from him because I remember subscribing to him back a year ago when he made that TikTok type video talking about black girl gamers. And right after I saw the video on Twitter, I know I subscribed to him on YouTube, and then I just realized the other day I wasn't still subscribed to him, so I had to go back and resubscribe. Check them cankles out, exactly. I know, I will repent. Unfortunately, I don't have the repent video. I gotta get that, guys. I gotta up my video game. I've got video game. Hang on a second. Oh my god. No, I gotta get more videos and shit on here. Hey gamer, Empress, we haven't done a whole lot. We talked a little bit about Doom the Dark Ages, performance issues and whatnot. You know, male enhancement issues. No, different kind of performance issues. But no, we're going to talk about now The Last of Us being review bombed. Actually, this is like a side tie-in to what I really want to talk about. So I don't know if you guys have been watching The Last of Us. I didn't play the games. I don't care about the show. I'm not going to watch it. I'm not going to play them. And I know Cult Classic Cage, she put out a video today talking about The Last of Us 2, how all of a sudden all the same bigots who didn't like the game are exactly in line with the people who watched the show and didn't like the show either. So clearly there's a problem with Season 2, Episode 2 of the games, the show, everything else, right? It's not just... So, wait, Katie, you guys are legit going to FatCon? That's not a joke. You're actually going to go. When is it? Where's it at? Last of Us TV show's terrible. Mahendra, I wouldn't know because I'm not going to watch it, man. It doesn't count as a review bomb. It's bombing for same reason the game did. Yeah, here's the thing. I feel like The Last of Us show has the same problem that Halo did, where they didn't get the people who played the game to watch it. Look, I played the games. I played all the Halo games. Hated the second half of them. Refused to watch the show. My father-in-law, who's in his late 60s, he watched the Halo show and was like, oh, this show's pretty good. Are you going to watch it? You played this game, right? I'm like, the reason I'm not watching the show is because I played the game. I think the same thing happened with The Last of Us show. So you had a lot of people who had no idea what to expect with Season 2, all of a sudden who are like, wait a second, well, why'd they kill this guy? Now, personally, I hate Pedro Pascal, so the fact they killed him, I'm like, sweet, all right. It's in Seattle next January. Dude, I'm not far. We got to meet up, man. Oh, that'd be sweet. But I'm not going to FatCon. I will not go with you there. We can do something outside of Seattle, but I'm not going to FatCon. Can you give me spoilers? I think I know all the spoilers. The show's just not good. Okay, so the reason I said that, the memes coming out of this are freaking insane. All right.
Do I need to be liked? Absolutely not.
NS, what are you doing? What are you freaking doing, man? You got to stop.
Not. I like to be.
Somebody take away this man's ability to gift memberships. Holy shit, dude. That's 20 so far this one stream.
Absolutely not. I like to be liked. I enjoy being liked.
Your finger slipped into something. What are you doing, man? If I come, it has to be FatCon. I'm not going to FatCon, Kata. NS with the 20 gifted subs this stream. Dude, I'm going to put you in timeout so you're not allowed to do that anymore. No, I am not far from Seattle. And if it's in January, I'll have pretty much flexibility to hang out and do whatever. That's the one advantage to being my own boss. And life being kind of seasonal, because January is a pretty slow time for me. She's gonna be a daddy, exactly. What is FatCon? It's exactly what it sounds like. It's a convention for fat people. Although, guys, I mean, aren't you guys... I know Atreus is over in the south, isn't he? Like, I imagine you guys have just as many fatties there as you have here. The difference is here, they're a little bit paler. 20 so far and not... and still not you. Yeah, Burner, I don't get it, man. I don't understand how the whole gifting, random, like, gifted memberships work, because I'll have, like, channels that I pop into once in a while, like, very seldom, and I'll get a gifted membership when I'm not even in the chat. It's crazy. Moxie Dame Raid, what? What? Oh my god. I just got New Blackstreet and then Moxie Dame. You guys are killing me here. Moxie, Raiders, welcome in. We just got raided by New Blackstreet. We are just now starting to talk about The Last of Us cringe, which is going to tie into more Neil Cuckman cringe. But yeah, Moxie, appreciate you. Is freaking is Leon in there? Is he with you tonight, or is it somebody else? You have to be subscribed. Well, Burner has been subscribed for a long time. Seattle is nice if you don't have to like fight off like crackheads or some shit like that. You're gonna get booed out of there very fast. Yeah, no, Empress, it's not for people like us. It's not for people who are proportionate size and height and weight, you know, relatively active. No. It's for the plus size people. Yeah, welcome in, Raiders. Holy crap, I don't even know like what our actual viewer count is right now because of you guys. But hey, you know what? The more the merrier. If Smash shows up, I'm gonna say no. No, if Smash raids the channel, I'm going to tell him, dude, I have to stop at some point tonight, so you can't. You go bless somebody else. Leon was arrested on charges of game theft. Yeah. So what did you say, Remy? You have to be subscribed. Oh, that's the only condition. See, I thought it was based on viewership. I thought that the random gifted memberships were given to people who actually like somewhat actively, you know, were viewers or maybe like chatted or whatnot. I don't know. 79. Good God, you guys. Guest of honor at Fat Comobulizzo. Nah, she's not fat enough anymore, man. They're gonna smash fat hoes. Kata shouldn't be smashing any fat hoes. I thought he had a girlfriend. Now, Atreus, I'm pretty sure if you're single, you go for it, man. F smash JT. I don't want to F smash JT. I'm straight, man. Not to mention, he's not my type. Smash was arrested on charges of illicit assault. I don't know about that. Although he assaulted that chair. He threw that chair in the pool. I'm sorry, guys. I don't know what caused him to do that. I don't know if it was like a donation goal or something. I like my chair nice and dry. It's not happening. Might be raiding his other channel and playing a game. Good. Good. All right. Kata loves him some Big Shirleys. Oh my god. Oh, is Hook in here? I didn't see him. Hey, Hook buddy. Where are you at? Oh, he came in with the Moxie raid. Okay, cool. Problem with it is the Moxie raid worked. I guess so, Moxie. People knew that you were there. The Last of Us did follow the story, and it's bad. It betrays the characterization of Joel and goes down this weird rabbit hole. Yeah, okay, so guys, full disclosure, I didn't realize, because I never played the Last of Us game, that Ellie wasn't gay the entire time. That was created essentially in a DLC that they made for the game, and I don't know if that was actually written by the original writer of the game or not. So essentially, it was a retcon or an extension of the game. Oh, sorry, Mexican food still coming up. Oh man, whew. Yeah. He got a 3,000 stream goal. Holy shit! You guys, I am so not good at this. And not that I don't appreciate all of you guys. I don't like that whole setting a stream goal for anything. Like, I feel sheepish and embarrassed when you guys, like, super chat $2. I'm like, I can't do that. I don't have the gift of the grift, you know? Donation goal for Smash's chair plunge was 500. Even that's too much for me. Drink refill. Yeah, I'm drinking herbal tea. I got my chamomile on. How does The Last of Us 2 game end? I don't know. Does anybody here in the chat know? Because I don't know. And I don't care to know. But again, like I said, the memes coming out of this have just been too good. I mean, I don't know if this is actually from the... I don't know if this is from the show or not, but I mean, what the actual hell is going on with this? This is the most unfortunate looking human being that has ever existed, you know? And then you get pure cringe like this. Okay, so apparently this is a scene from Seattle, which makes total sense. It's like Seattle is for lovers and optimists. You got the pride heart.
What's up with all the rainbows? I don't know. Maybe they're all optimists.
Why? I don't understand. Does Ellie and this character, was it Dina or Dinah? Does she not understand? They're both gay. Do they not know what the whole pride flag thing is? I'm so confused by this.
To be liked?
It's absolutely
not.
pure cringe, man.
I like to be. Do I need to be liked?
NS, what are you
not.
doing?
I like to be. Do I need to be liked? Absolutely not.
Ginger
I
tea.
like to be liked.
Well, I just
Enjoy
polished
being
off a cup of
liked.
chamomile. I think that's gonna have to
liked.
do for tonight. Since you don't like gifted YouTube, drop some more. YouTube didn't do it. It was you, man. Can somebody just like ban NS temporarily from gifting subscriptions, like or memberships? Ellie killed 100 people except main killer. What? My stream goal is to usually fill a single cup. Hey, DB Wild, as somebody who has had back and nerve issues and had to go to urologists and stuff, I can sympathize with that statement. NS with 25 gifted memberships tonight. Dude, I'm glad that your mental state is better because you're going to put me like in an institution if you keep donating. You got to stop, man. Yes, Ellie does not kill Abby. Abby goes away with the trans child. Yeah, the trans character. And Ellie loses a couple fingers and is sad to not be able to play the guitar as Joel taught her. Oh my god. Okay, so then you have this scene here from Mr. Grizzy says, "What the F am I watching?" I can't remember who pointed it out that her fingernails were like really, really dirty, which is disgusting, absolutely vile. And then, of course, we all know this scene here.
So we're having a baby. I mean, we and also, I guess, Jesse here. It was Jesse, right? So we're all having a baby. Holy shit. I'm gonna be a dad.
And if, the funny thing was, I had never seen this scene from the second game. Apparently, you compare it to what actually happens in the game, and Ellie is actually pissed off at her that she's pregnant because it's like, now I got to drag your pregnant ass around in this dystopian, apocalypse. Yeah, somebody... Okay, so this meme has been around a while. I share the shit out of this on Twitter. Somebody actually made the high-res version of it, which is fantastic. This is like the best meme of all time. I don't know, NS... But I was posting the fuzzy version of it, like the really pixelated version, and someone's like, "Oh, we need this in high res," and then somebody came back with this, and I'm like, "This right here is pure solid gold." Have you guys seen the one where she's looks like it's the scene with the dude from crap? What was the TV show? Holy crap, Kevin James with Leah Remini. What's the name of that show? I can't remember, man. King of Queens? I think it was King of Queens. And, he's standing there in the kitchen with his hands in his pockets and it's got freaking Bella Ramsey's face on it. It is so bad, but so good all at the same time. So again, they can't quite figure out why nobody likes this show, right? They can't figure it out. Nobody knows. Yes, King of Queens. I could not remember that for whatever reason. So many luxury beliefs, behaviors surviving into the apocalypse when the future of humanity explicitly requires dumping them. Oh, what? You mean like Abby having like the body mass of a professional bodybuilder? Yeah, I would say that that's one of those things that's highly improbable in a zombie apocalypse. But hey, at least in the show, they got a girl that looks like a girl, right? So this is another one that I don't understand. As far as I know, Tati Gabrielle, the girl who's going to be in Intergalactic, the Heretic Prophet, I believe she played the voice actress for this character in the game, right? So they have this side-by-side of Tati Gabrielle in the show versus her character in the game.
This shit down.
What I find really hilarious is that here in the game, the character's got hair, right? She got hair. Here she looks like her character from Intergalactic. How freaking hard would it be to slap a wig on that bald dome she's got going on? Like, honest to God. But again, it's about sending a statement. This show, the character, this is why I've said before, I'll say it again, the intergalactic game is going to be complete pure ass, because it's all about sending a message. There's a TikToker who does Ellie cosplay and is wild how similar she looks to the actual Ellie. I've seen that. I have seen that. Being gay is a luxury belief when 99% of humanity is wiped out. I mean, you're not wrong there. Gear users are screwed in the apocalypse. Yes. No, this is again the Tati Gabrielle. She was also in the one with the guy that played Spider-Man. Guys, you gotta forgive me. I'm super tired tonight. Names are not coming to me easy. The British kid that played Spider-Man in the MCU. So what was it? Wasn't Far Cry. It was crap. Another place. Here's the problem. These are all PlayStation games, and I never played them. No. What's the name of that game? They made a movie out of it. Intergalactic the game, or Beastie Boys Intergalactic. Yeah. Even a gay dude would be doing their part to increase the population. I don't know if that's true, Quillpig, because at the end of the day, Tom Holland, thank you. Now, what's the movie based on the game that he was in? The character, it looks like a Harrison Ford, Indiana Jones type character. Uncharted, thank you. God. Bailing my ass out there. Imagine having to eat around 3,000. Dude, I used to eat 3,000 calories a day. Mainly on animal protein and training at least 4 to 5 hours on an environment where no one can have the luxury of not working for the survival of the group. Yes, and imagine doing that as a female just to excessively gain completely unnecessary muscle mass that isn't going to benefit you or the society around you at all. And then try to sell that as a likable or even realistic character, right? Yeah, I couldn't remember the name of that movie because I never played the game. But yeah, so how hard would it be to slap a wig on her? It wouldn't be hard at all. But that wouldn't send the same message. You got potato face Bella Ramsey, bald ass Tati Gabrielle. And again, this is like Neil Cuckman's like wet dream here. Is having these two like androgynous they them people in this really tense situation, you know? Oh, Uncharted was written by Amy Hennig. That's really interesting. She's the same one that did Last of Us 1. That's very curious. Oh yeah, Neil Cuckman. That's the only way to describe him. All right, I'm gonna get a bottle of water, guys. But yes, this is the reason we even bring up The Last of Us at this point, because nobody cares about The Last of Us. But this is what I really wanted to talk about. Let me grab my water. I'll be right back. Yeah, I was saying earlier on the stream, the reason we went to a Mexican restaurant after the baseball games is because it's my twin's birthday today, and so my kiddos are officially, both of them, 10 years old now, and it's killing me on the inside. I try to pretend that the whole age thing isn't bothering me much, but like, I'm in my last year before I turn 40, turn 40 next year, and now my kids are no longer in the single digits. I'm like, I don't know what the hell is happening anymore. I really hate that the Last of Us fans defend the TV show as realistic. Dude, here's the thing. All of these shows, all these movies, they're all going to have these stan accounts on Twitter where every one of them has like the character of a show or a movie or a game as their profile picture. And they're like, oh, she's mother, she's queen. And it's like calling a person who's like 20 years old mother. It's the most like mentally ill thing somebody could ever do. I don't understand that. I'm not a twin. I had twins, and they're boy-girl twins, so they're not identical. They're fraternal. At some point, Amy Hennig left Naughty Dog. I can take a stab as to why. Yeah, exactly. Casa Bonita? No. No, it's not Casa Bonita. He's the Kevin Feige of video games, can work only if heavily supervised by more capable people. That sounds about right. Age happens. Yeah. Oh, age happens just like everything else that happens on its own. Shit happens. So apparently Naughty Dog has been preparing Tati Gabrielle for more hate. I'm like, good. Prepare everybody for more hate. Because that's unfortunately it's going to take to get the message through to these people. That at the end of the day, it's like, I've said this before, I'll say it again. Everyone's like, oh, but you're okay with woke games if they're like, if they're fun. I'm like, no, I'm okay with games that are fun, even if they dabble into something that I don't agree with, because at the end of the day, it's entertainment, right? I want good entertainment. So people like these Tati Gabrielle people, again, like the same gal, Erika Ishii, who's doing that Ghost to Yote character, they're activists first, actress second. And those are the kind of people that they get into these roles who have a profound effect on the games, the stories, the shows, where it ultimately takes a path where it's no longer entertaining at all and it's just woke, pure, like garbage propaganda. That's why I don't like these kinds of people. And again, it's not just because she's bald. It's not just because she's, again, an advocate for like LGBT crap and transgender crap. It's because it's the whole package. It's her, it's Neil Druckmann, it's Naughty Dog, it's all of it. Every little bit of it. Yeah, they grow up way too fast, man. So it says, everyone who is everyone knows what happened when Naughty Dog released The Last of Us Part 2 in 2020. It was dragged through the ringer for several reasons, facing review bombing issues despite being an utter masterpiece of a game. Well, that's one way to put it. Fast forward to right now, and the television series is dealing with a similar problem. If it's a different audience, which it is, the TV show audience is not the people that played the game. I'm sure there's some crossover, but normies who watch TV shows that they've never played the game for are going to have the same issue at the end of the day because the story still sucks. Fast forward to right now, the series is having the same problem. Being fully aware of what some gamers are like, Naughty Dog's Neil Cuckman has been boot camping the lead actress in... They call her actor. Is this normal that they call a woman actor instead of actress? In Intergalactic, The Heretic Prophecy. Heretic Prophet! What? They can't even get the name right. Okay, Insider Gaming. Good God, it's Intergalactic, The Heretic Prophet, not Prophecy. In a recent interview, Tati Gabrielle revealed how she's been preparing for what might come. Yeah, she doesn't F with you discourse 100%. Yeah, they go ideology first and are shocked when they get called out on it. Exactly. This is the same chick. Yes. This is the exact same actress. So she is a Naughty Dog actress, Neil Cuckman. He likes to put her in different things. And so the reason that she's getting so many roles is because she's connected to Sony through Naughty Dog Studio. And so again, she's going to be like a... Can you please look up the You Mad Bro pic? It has her in Manly Series Slurpin Slurpees. Yeah, I remember this one. Dude, Neil Cuckman is his official name now. There's no going back. That is just his name. Yeah, Tati Gabrielle, You Mad Bro. Oh God, this is so bad. Yeah, it's with the fragile masculinity. God, this is terrible. Look at this shit. And of course, she's in a orange pantsuit in her profile picture right here. Let's see, 100% incel tears. I don't know how she gets to like look like that and call other people incels. I'm like, really? Okay. So DEI-licious, You Mad Bro. Yeah, this is... is this gonna sell hamburgers? Huh, hamburgers. Alright, so yeah. With that pic, she's begging for their vitriol. It's like one of those things where, look, okay, I was telling the kids this earlier today, because I can't remember what brought it up. You know, we were leaving the ballpark, and there's a lot of cattiness, and there's kids who don't like certain umpires, and kids who don't like other teams, and they'll pick on certain people because they have a bad history with them or whatever. And I'm like, here's the thing. You should never pick on somebody, or it's not even like who you should pick on. It's the whole thing is going after somebody for being short is like going after them for being ugly. You can't help it if you were born short, born ugly. You have no control over that. You can control your weight. You can control wearing clean clothing, trying to present yourself as well as you can. But at the end of the day, if you were born looking like Bella Ramsey, you got no control over that. I just don't think that she should be a lead in anything because we don't want to look at her face. But she obviously can't control how hideous she is. That's how she was born. But like, this chick doesn't have to shave her head bald. She doesn't have to act like an obnoxious twat. She chooses to do that, you know? Neil Suck Men as an alternative, I could go for that. Absolutely. Dark circles and wrinkles the next fashion trend? Maybe. You're as allowed to be as big an asshole as is necessary? Yeah, exactly. They treat Dinah's boyfriend. Is it Dinah or Dina? I don't even care. Don't even correct me. I don't care. She needs to be retreading tires. Exactly. She looks like somebody who'd be working in a tire center, not an actress, you know? She was tired of doing her hair for some show she was playing a role in. That's it. So she's just going to go as bald bitch from now on. Okay. I guess that's a thing. Okay, so Tati Gabrielle took a deep dive into her new role as Jordan Munn, star of Naughty Dog's next epic, Intergalactic: The Heretic Prophet. Unfortunately, part of what she revealed was around the hate she and her character had already received. I got a lot of love, but there's a lot of hate over me being a woman. No, me being a woman of color. Guys, since when have Asian chicks been women of color? Since when has that been a thing? I've always been told, again, that there's like this perceived anti-white, anti-Asian bias because Asians are like white adjacent. Like I've seen black people on Twitter say that that Asians are like white adjacent, right? Last of Us 2 Plays trailer. What is that? Did a live action Toy Story Bella Ramsey could play Mr. or Mrs. Potato Head? Yeah. Oh, her attitude sucks. I'm not sympathetic. I'll make fun of ugly people. They better have been born with a sense of humor. Yeah, so again, being a woman of color, an Asian woman. Okay. Me having my head shaved. Well, again, that's your choice to shave your head. All these things that I didn't even actually initially see. I'm out of the social media zeitgeist for that reason. But once I did, Neil was like, ignore it no matter what. Me and you, we're going to make something beautiful. We're going to make something that we're proud of. Did you guys watch Stranger Things? Did you guys ever watch it? Oh, the fake trailer? I'll have to look at it in a bit. Asians equals white adjacent until you meet an Indonesian. So the last season of Stranger Things that had that Vecna character, I didn't love it. I thought Stranger Things was best at season 1, and even though the other subsequent seasons were still decent, like if you're just watching them for entertainment, they were fine. But that Vecna character at the end of season 4, I guess it was, with his like mangled face and skin and it's all flayed flesh and all that shit, saying, I want to make something beautiful out of the world, right? That's all that pops in my head when I hear Neil Druckmann saying, we're going to make something beautiful. You gave Stranger Things up. Yeah, that's not a bad thing. I mean, honestly, season 1 was the best out of all the seasons. 2 was all right. 3 I didn't care for as much. 4 had moments, but then the whole Will being gay the entire season and crying every chance he could get was just too much. You watched all Stranger Things seasons? Yeah, every season it still had something redeemable in it, but 4 was just, yeah. Vecna still looked better than Bella. All right, Mahendra, I'll try to watch the fake trailer in a minute. I gotta get through this article here. Then it became garbage? Yeah. Dude, there was a lot of garbage to be had within the seasons. Like, seasons 3 and 4 of Stranger Things. Like I said, there was redeemable moments, but in general, it was just not great. Oh, no. Why do we want to go to Endymion's community tab? Hang on a second. The fake trailer versus the game. Okay, I'll have to look that up in a minute. Okay, NS is saying to go to Endymion's community post. Is this something that you want me to share with the class, NS? I'm not even subscribed to Endymion anymore. I still have to find it. Hang on. Let me see. Endymion TV. Posts. Oh, holy shit. Oh my god. Oh, what is this? What is this? Oh man. Oh my god, that is brutal. I'm gonna be a body type 1 parent. He's still crying about Expedition 33's trophy guides. Trust me, I know. I know. It's the most freaking annoying thing on the planet. I'm like, dude, for the love of God, stop bitching about it. But he's just gonna keep going, so whatever. He's him, I'm nobody, so he's not gonna listen to me. All right, she then explained that Druckmann, the creator of Intergalactic and The Last of Us, has been preparing her for the worst. Neil's been boot camping me. Okay. I know Troy's experience. I know Ashley's experience. I know Laura Bailey's experience. By Laura Bailey, she's referring to the unbelievable hatred leveled at Laura Bailey for her portrayal of Abby. Like, I'm not discounting actual threats against Laura Bailey or her kids. I'm just tired of hearing about it 5 years later. Oh, man. That's quite interesting. Decembro says, why actively make a decision for a game that you already know is going to generate this kind of response? This isn't bigotry and vitriol. It's a company being perfectly aware of the industry they're working in, the genre of game they're making, the audience they have, and actively going against it. It's like if McDonald's took all their burgers off the menu and replaced them with effing spoiled seafood or something, and then coached their staff with how to deal with customers rightfully complaining about the burger place not making burgers. Just make us some effing burgers, you pompous, insufferable twat. This guy takes the position of an actually talented game director. His co-writer in the 2 only games he managed to produce bolted from the company right after Uncharted 4. So he goes and bones up a sequel plus a new IP, spending hundreds of millions of dollars in development. And Sony still doesn't see the egomaniac of a moron that they have leading this studio. Yeah, actually, I've been DMing back and forth with Decembro. I think I'm going to try to get him on a stream at some point here. It gets funnier and more retarded by the minute, yeah. Oh, man. All right, let me look up this fake trailer real quick. Hang on a second. Last of Us fake trailer. I assume it's on YouTube. Let me see here. Last of Us fake trailer. Where's The Last of Us 2? Part 2 fake trailer. Okay. False advertising trailer versus game. Well, there's one that is 47 seconds. I'm just going to drag this over here. Hang on. There's this one here.
What the hell are you doing here? You think I'd let you do this on your own? What the hell are you doing here? I think I'd let you do this on your own.
Wait, did they legit switch characters?
Really, nigga?
Did they actually switch characters? That's insane. Oh, thanks, Cage. Appreciate it. I mean, Hook, I don't think I'm crippled by boomerism either, although my kids call me boomer from time to time. That is insane. Did they actually put Joel in there just to tease, to like try to get people to watch it? That is nuts. And then they killed him off, golf clubbed his head in. All right, guys, that takes us to, let's see. It's only 11 right now. That brings us to this situation here. It was after the Joel death leak. Oh my god. Yeah, I would have been pissed too. Again, if I had played the first game, I would have cared. So 60% of you say that we must watch the Grummz video. So at least we're going to start it. We're going to put it on maybe 1.5 times speed. And I don't know how much of this I can get through, how much of it's even worth talking about. But I feel like because we've talked about this before, it's something we at least need to look at for the sake of just doing due diligence, you know? Last of Us 2 is pure them trolling their audience from Last of Us. That's why they got the backlash. Yeah, no shit. Honestly, like, that's deserved. That is well deserved. All right. Just try to endure the cringe as long as you can, guys. Oh, hang on. We gotta unmute it. Are we muted? No, it's not.
I'm going to
muted.
quickly address feedback from part 1, then we'll dive right into it. First bit of feedback was that the intro on part 1 had bad audio. I'm sorry, I'm merely an oaf with a microphone. You're now listening to a new one. Second piece of feedback was that I'm cringe and soy. I'm aware, However, the first person I saw calling me that was a VTuber with a jester/octopus mommy MILF avatar, so I'm legally and contractually obligated to say the call is coming from inside the house, Miss Splatoon. Also, there was a guy with like a Transformers smoke.
So he redirects the fact that people call him soy back at the person because they have a disturbing VTuber anime avatar or whatever. But like, listen to this dude's voice.
/octopus mommy MILF avatar, so I'm legally and contractually obligated to say the call is coming from inside the house, Miss Splatoon. Also, there was a guy with like a Transformers smoking a cigar.
My God, on regular speed, this man talks so incredibly slow. Like, holy shit. Yeah, I'll put it back at 1.5 times because, like, wow.
We're all involved in a video by a man called Grummz. Have some self-reflection, I guess. Third bit of feedback was that I look like Timu Hassan. Thank you. Fourth, why didn't I take this to a journalist or TMZ? Firstly, I don't think TMZ would want to touch this with a 10-foot pole. And secondly, most games journalists are happy to ignore Mark. He was actively trying to get in front of the story anyway. So while I tried to convince a journalist that I don't really have a connection to cover it, Mark would have already had control of his own narrative. So if you are a journalist wanting to do something about this, everything's in the description and you can contact me there as well. And finally, the intro in part 1 was way too long. Yes, so let's get started. Mark Kern is a liar and a fraud.
Yeah, this man made an intro that was like 15 minutes on his video. So person, this is a guy who made a 2-part video talking about Grummz and his game and exposing like his past and I guess somewhat recent career as a adult film producer, if you will. So the thing is that, again, while I don't personally have much respect or use for Grummz, beyond once in a while he shares a headline that's actually, you know, maybe interesting if it's not completely bullshit. There are people who like have complete like this man spends every minute of their waking lives like thinking about Mark Kern, about Grummz, right? Can't make it 45 minutes. No worries, man. I don't know that we're even gonna get through the whole 45 minutes, but yeah, I understand, dude. Don't worry about it. Let's just see if there's anything in the first 15 minutes worth even watching.
I want to make it clear there's no insane smoking guns like highly illegal pornography or murder here. This is a deep dive into some more of the financial irregularities from Mark's end, some legally interesting things he's done around his companies, and also some thoughts and questions about exactly how much of a fraud he is in all aspects of his career. So let's get into it. Grummz had kind of scooped part 1, emphasis on kind of, because he had an awareness that something was happening. He was so smug about it, he went on a live stream with one of the most nightmarish blunt rotations I've seen in recent memory. Part of the reason I dangled a part 2 out there was to see what he'd try and deflect and what he wouldn't want to talk about. Fortunately for me, and unfortunately for him, this stream gave me a lot of sound bites to talk about that people aren't going to be aware of, because the stream's now locked behind a members-only piece. You got
He's not aware of. Most people have seen this shit on Twitter. Yeah, so Cage, here's the thing. Yeah, he produced some nudie films. Yeah, exactly. There's other stuff to dislike about him. This is one of those things where I'm like, people like John Della Rose, like John Trent, they would have aligned with Grummz because they're like, oh, we're going to retake, you know, gaming for Christendom and right-wing activism. And it's like, guys, Grummz is not Christian. He's not right-wing. He's not a conservative. That didn't shock me at all. So finding out this stuff didn't actually make a big deal. Like, well, it wasn't a big deal to me personally as far as like this aspect of it goes. He said some creepy things about finding his own mom hot that I thought was absolutely disgusting. But I don't know. I feel like this is more of a nothing burger, but let's just play it and see what happens.
Nothing, and you're gonna get 0 views just like you always have for your entire duration of your YouTube campaign. And you know what? You're getting an FBI report next week. I'm sorry.
It's 4 hours of what I would charitably call Cocomelon for capital G gamers, and I don't think anyone who isn't brain poisoned should watch it, so let's pull the highlights.
Guess what, guys? I did softcore porn, and I started when I was working on World of Warcraft, and I made a bunch of money.
Indulge me as I start with this one, because this is factually incorrect. We
yeah,
have a backup
Cage,
of
it's
every
pretty
Wayback
gross.
Machine page archived on foxyfighter.com. There is 100+ archived milk and milking references in this content, along with a death and blood tag. Varied interests there. We have the literature he wrote where his alter ego, Debbie Chan, violently abused a woman with the same nickname as his wife. And we found some video that he commissioned and produced. Well, either produced by him, or he paid to produce. His own posts out him as commissioning fights from a custom porn company called Double Trouble. This was on a site called Heavy R. Heavy R is known for hosting extreme and graphic videos far outside of
Bored already. All these people going after Grummz keep trying to finagle how the money is handled because Kern has been able to easily deflect, accept the allegations of smut, bigotry, etc. Yeah, so that's I think that's what I take away from this the most, DB Wild, is the fact that you don't have to like Grummz. You don't have to like what he's done. You don't have to like his side hustle. You don't have to support his game. You don't have to think that he's a good developer. In fact, based on what I've seen, he's a terrible developer, at least in terms of within the last 10 years, right? Not including any of his connections or involvement to like World of Warcraft or anything he worked on. His product that he has more or less sold a bill of goods on to certain people from the last 5, 6, 7 years is not good. If you were judging his entire career on freaking Ember, you look at this guy and go, I'm not giving you a dime. And he took like what, $600,000 in crowdfunding for that shit. So yeah, DB, exactly. Like I said, it's one thing to be like, I don't trust the guy. I think the guy might have scammed his audience. I don't think he's reputable or whatever. Okay, fair enough. There's a million people just like that online. What I find fascinating is that it creates this situation where there are so many people where this is like the only thing they talk about. Again, it's like McDizzle. McDizzle, before he did the whole thing with Smash JT, where he tricked him into thinking he worked for Ubisoft, McDizzle would only put out videos on Grummz. Now, okay, fair enough. If you investigate something and you're passionate about it, fine. If you have actual evidence and facts and things that can, show that this guy is not to be trusted, okay, fair enough, put it out there. But it seems to be like, it starts to get to the level of obsession, I would say.
Mainstream. So this is real-world violence, highly graphic material. You will not find this video on a more mainstream site. I'm not saying Mark uploaded it, but it's one of Foxy Fighters. There's definitely others, and likely not even the most extreme video. We also have it on DVD, by the way. It's called Tylene vs. Shayla, and the description is, 2 women wrestlers are chained together in the ring and have a real busting fight, and loser winds up with her beaten to a bloody pulp. Not softcore. This is the part that I feel people took issue with from some aspects. This is not just a guy making Guna material, this is a guy making highly abusive material.
This is why people in the gaming space think if you're looking outside and you're looking into the game space, people think everybody's fucking weird. Because there's gaming and tech writers who have fucking fantasies about the ridiculously awful things that were just said. These people give all gamers, everybody who plays games, everybody who covers tech, everybody on the internet, a bad fucking name.
Thank you, friend of the show, Stuttering Craig. He's not a friend of the show. Hey, look, that's Yellow Flash guy, the guy that most of the other clips are on. This is from a completely different, irrelevant beef, but just want to make sure everyone's on the same page here, right? We're all going in the same way. Who am I kidding? Hypocrisy doesn't matter to these freaks. And there are going to be people on both sides of the spectrum, of the political spectrum, being like, so, isn't this sex work? Isn't this kink? This isn't kink or sex work. This is a man who has effectively done financial fraud to fund his porn business on the side. That's my big contention here.
I am the Hugh Hefner of Blizzard.
So that's all part 2 is going to be. 40 more minutes. Let's see here what it says. It was multiple years ago. My mom ran my companies. My mom was also hot. The bus, LMAO, Ember, a brief timeline. Ember is still exactly the same as this. But again, this is all stuff that he already covered in his previous video. Backers aren't taking it well. Let's talk about that not-for-profit tax fraud stuff. All right. I'm going to jump ahead to this part right here about the nonprofits, because all the rest of this shit is just him rehashing stuff he's already talked about. And I'm not going to watch that much.
Speaking of financial transparency.
What is the nonprofit people are asking about in the chat? What is
I have no idea because I've never founded a nonprofit. And this is why I'm filing a report with the FBI.
So firstly, I haven't seen Kash Patel yet, so I don't think he filed that report. Also, that's factually incorrect, Mark.
We need an organization, one that speaks for us, one that's willing to defend gamers' rights. That's why I founded League for Gamers. League for Gamers is an independent, nonprofit advocacy group for gamers and like-minded developers.
I have to be petty for a minute, Mark. Man. I feel like if like 90s game developer had a physiognomy like a type, he is like the stereotype of it. It's hilarious. How's Grummz being a douchebag and making multiple of mild financial crimes make him wrong about journalists? It doesn't. It doesn't, Cool Big. The thing is, and this is what they're going for. This is what the ultimately like the entire goal is. If Grummz is the leader, which I don't consider him the quote unquote leader, because I don't have a leader. Thank you very much. Like, right? There's like the only leader you could say that I have is, between there's God and there's this person you vote for, and that'd be the president of your country. Like that's it. But in terms of this, they're looking at him like, well, if this is your leader and he's this degenerate scumbag and he does all these things that most of your based right-wing conservative, side, and again, this is where you get into the political side of it, where the whole Gamergate thing, voting for Trump, that you got a whole bag of different people, left, right, middle, centrist, libertarian, conservative, whatever. It's not just one thing, but they look at Mark and they go, well, if Mark is your leader and you're all a bunch of hypocrites because he does all these disgusting things you guys shouldn't be okay with, it's like, no one ever said that, again, Mark Kern was a conservative or right wing, right? Need to shave? Yeah, it's getting a tad long. It's getting a little long. I'm gonna go to a barber at some point and have them trim it up. If I start trimming this, I'm gonna start cutting it too short, and then it's gonna go like all the way back down to like nothing. Lefties see everything as hierarchical. Yeah, I think that's the biggest problem we're having, is that they're seeing it as a hierarchy, right?
Rights. That's why I founded League for Gamers. League for Gamers is an independent, non-profit advocacy group for gamers and like-minded developers.
At this point, team, if he says something and doesn't have like 3 separate pieces of evidence to back it up, more fool us, I guess. Here is the State of California documentation showing that League for Gamers was founded by you. You might notice it's a not-for-profit. You might not have heard of League for Gamers, and that's okay.
See, okay, this right here, this is actual proof, right? Mark says, I never founded a nonprofit. This right here, if it's got his name on it, does it have Mark's name? Individual Mark Kern, and it's a non-for-profit. Is it a 501c? Where are we at here? Non-profit, public benefit corporation law for public purposes, charitable purposes, or X, public and charitable. Okay, so again, this is a non-profit that Mark started. It's a verifiable lie. That's an easy one. That's a slam dunk right there. Oh yeah, DB, I believe it 100%, man.
For profit. You might not have heard of League for Gamers, and that's okay. On Jan 18th, 2012, Red 5 skipped E3 to protest Soper/Piper. They donated their E3 funds of $50,000 to Mark's new charity called the League for Gamers. 4 days after that, FoxyFighters.com went free-for-all to access, by the way, so he...
LFG makes me think of that new studio Sony's opening. Yeah, that one is going to be bad, man. That's going to be... Whatever game that they create... Well, you got to remember, they still have fair game coming down the pipeline. Fair game, that extraction, bounty, multiplayer PvP game that looks completely cringe. That's another Sony game that is still going to be a live service game that's coming out. And we've already had Concord, and we're going to have Marathon, and Marathon's going to be a disaster, and then we're going to have fair game. It just gets from bad to worse, dude.
He was juggling a few jobs at that point. He was the head of Red 5, running a business as a pawn king, his own words, not mine, and head of a not-for-profit. Busy guy. Hope he managed to keep it up and didn't commingle funds or spend time on Foxy Fighters while he was meant to be CEO. I hope there's no track record of him disappearing for weeks at a time. I'm busting his balls. On November 12th, 2012, League for Gamers' first tweet directs readers to join an email campaign at leagueforgamers.org, and on Jan 13th, 2013, League for Gamers posts its first and last weekly update at leagueforgamers.org. Stop asking this man for regular updates, by the way. I think it's here. Mark gets a bit busy.
They don't get how any of this works. Tim Pool's uber popular. I think everyone hates him and thinks he's both a degen and a liar. It doesn't matter. I don't know if I thought Tim Pool is a degenerate. Is he? I think he's a liar. I have no doubt about, like, I have my own qualms with Tim Pool and the way he's run his shit, but I don't know if I thought he was a degenerate, just more of a fence sitter.
He leaves Red 5. I say leave because others claim he was forced out. He makes a statement calling it his Kobayashi Maru, which implies that he left Red 5 of his own volition. I don't think we'll ever know definitively unless someone else on the board makes a statement, and it's the someone else that needs to make the statement, not him. Another year later brings us to March 7th, 2015. League for Gamers posts its first tweet since weekly update, promising a new website. Blessed with more...
Oh, Pool slept with most of his staff. Okay, hang on. Is that what happened with Lydia? Is that why? Okay, that would actually make more sense now. Yeah, dude, I've never really loved Tim Pool. I listened to his videos back 2020, 2021. And then, like I said, I have not watched any of his shit since the Eliza Blue thing. I said, not a chance in hell. I'm done with you, dude. Like, no way, right? He's a shockingly good singer with shockingly bad music. Oh man, haven't followed Pool's Kiwi thread, but the Cuck Murphy thing made me stop watching. Yeah, Remy, a lot of us tuned out around the whole time with like Jack Murphy and Eliza Blue and all that shit, man. He sits on those fence pantsless. Tim Pool is a political commentator. He's got his own media company. Hell, Tim Pool's got a freaking correspondent in the White House, man. He's the guy that he never takes his beanie off. So even if he goes to like a suit and tie event, he still has the beanie on. It's the funniest damn thing. He's a utilitarian. It's just a fancy way of saying fence sitter.
More time, I guess he's a bit less employed than before. We come to August 28th, 2015, and in response to PAX Prime's new dress code, Grummz starts the hashtag PAX Naval Policy to encourage people to post photos of belly buttons. That's a thing he's into. Not judging if that's your thing, I'm just making a note of it because this spins off into the hashtag Navals for Grummz, where he retweets lolicon content. I'm not bringing this up to pedo jacket the man. In fact, I'm just kind of putting the jacket on a seat beside him, and you can decide if it fits. I'm just making a note of it because this...
So, Empress, here's the thing. I learned of Grummz 2 years ago, roughly, give or take a few months, during the whole Starfield thing. Most of us who didn't have any involvement in Gamergate 1 knew nothing of Mark Kearns or Grummz as he goes by online, had no idea who he was, what his involvement was in Gamergate the first time around, or any of this stuff. So when I first started covering Sweet Baby Inc. and all the Gamergate 2 typed topics, right before that, Mark Kern kind of popped off again because of the whole Starfield start menu thing. He criticized the start menu for Starfield and said, this is a game that's going to have issues because the start menu is so bland and boring. It looks unfinished, right? So I covered that, I think, in an article or a video at the time. I can't remember. That was prior to all the Gamergate 2 stuff really getting going. And then, of course, his name popped back up because of all the Sweet Baby Inc. crap and all the involvement. He kind of like took on the role as like the figurehead of Gamergate 2, right? Whether or not he actually earned that role or not. So, again, at the time, I was like, okay, well, this guy's on our side. I didn't know about the the crowdfunding of Ember. I didn't know about all this other crap. And so I would make videos talking about him, poking fun at the people that made fun of him and stuff. And there are these people like this guy. He goes, I think his name is Vincent Martin. And I'll see once in a while somebody will post him on Twitter, or he'll repost something else where he's being critical of like Mark Kern or whatever. And then I'll see snippets of like mild videos where he's sharing like out of context something I said like a year and a half ago, where I was like, the media is a bunch of corrupt people, so who cares what they say about Mark and all this other stuff. And I still stand by that fact. I don't trust the media, but the only thing is now I also know I don't trust Mark. And he'll try to like use that as some sort of own. I'm like, guess what? Most of us didn't know 90% of the backstory about this guy, the game, all this other crap until 6 months, 8 months ago. That's it. Right, Remy, exactly. Yes, but Patriot, would you force society to be Christian? That's where I draw a line with like the JDA people. Where it's like they want this national religious oligarchy to enforce all this shit. And I'm like, yeah, the problem with enforcing your beliefs on somebody is the fact that what happens when they're in power, People love shitting on Starfield when they put 200 plus hours in it. See, again, my biggest issue with Starfield was I just found the game really boring. I just couldn't. I tried playing and I'm like, I just don't care. I'm one of the people that put a few hundred hours in and will still say it's trash. Oh man, dude, that's rough. Yeah, I noped out after like 5 hours.
This spins off into a section exclusively for this stuff right on the League for Gamers website, for some reason. This is a part I've been stuck on this whole time. He's real public with the lolicon, but real private with the sexy lesbian catfights. The human psyche is fascinating, but eventually League for Gamers shuts down. Its website is open sourced on April 3rd, 2017, so you too can start your own League for Gamers. My big question about this here, aside from the lolly and gamer content, is the legal status and where that $50K that I mentioned went. The original non-for-profit was dissolved in 2015 by the state of California because documentation wasn't filed in 2013 or 2014. That's a real big pattern there with Mark's businesses, by the way. The man just loves saving trees. However, a second League for Gamers was registered in Delaware about 5 months later by a broker as a for-profit corporation. United States Corporation Agents is an online legal services company who can file these things on your behalf for privacy reasons. The timeline there alone kind of raises that red flag. It's been removed as a not-for-profit in California, but you're obviously still operating the entity. And like I mentioned, you did this interview on December 17th, 2015 with the GG.com confirming your involvement. So that raises a very pertinent question of where did that $50K go?
Yeah, and as we took a break, we were talking about other stuff, but honestly, like this is the only part that I find significant or care about because it's the only thing that has any ramifications legally at all. And unless he's going to take all this information and go like, see, this man had a nonprofit, claims he didn't start a nonprofit, took 50 grand from the nonprofit, transferred it to a for-profit company that he started up out of Delaware so he didn't run it out of California anymore. He ran it through a proxy. Okay, I mean, you can hand all that over to whatever department of the government's going to look into it, but like, good luck, man. Yeah, but Patriot, I look at that as American society and culture. You know? I look at, yeah, again, the idea that America is founded by, you know, English Christian people, and that was a massive part of our culture. And unfortunately, again, I know some people in the chat are going to disagree. I don't think America has to be 100% ethnically white to be American. I look at American culture as, yes, it was Christian and English, but anybody can, quote, be an American, but you do have to adopt the beliefs of the local people here. And unfortunately, American culture has degraded. There's no question there. Our society has degraded, and a lot of it has to do with not valuing what we used to value, and again, going back to our roots of being Christian English people, as well as allowing a bunch of immigrants in who don't share the same values. It kind of goes hand in hand.
California nonprofits are required by law to publicly disclose how they spend their money. I can't seem to find those publicly disclosed documents that would tell me what that 50K was spent on. League for Gamers was around for a couple of years, so too, as a not-for-profit, but there was no disclosure. Maybe Red 5 didn't send the money and just said they did for clout, which is a red flag of its own, but maybe the money was sent and League for Gamers didn't hold up its end of the bargain. It's pretty weird. And speaking of pretty weird, let's talk about tax in the IRS. I found more tax liens. There's the one I spoke about in part 1 from Jan 28, 2016. For those unaware, our big naval-loving boy is hit with a lien for $260,000 for unpaid taxes for the years 2013 and 2015. He's claimed that no backer money has gone to clear that particular debt, but to be honest, we've established a pattern here where his word isn't worth shit. So
I'm done with this video. Honestly, he is just rehashing the same stuff that we already knew and the same stuff that was already existing in the first video. Man. Oh, talk about a nothing burger. This is what happened. Anytime I see something online and I analyze it and I think about it and I go, we've seen this before, we've talked about this before. To me, it feels like a nothing burger. People attack me and lash out and go, oh, you're just sweeping for this person and you're just covering it because you like X, Y, or Z. I'm like, no, it just sounds like a nothing burger, right? The translation, or the lack of translation, when Daniel Vavra a couple of weeks ago was talking to that Czech YouTube channel, and everyone's like, see, the smoking gun, he was forced to change things because he was afraid of journalists. And I'm like, most of this we already knew. And the rest was translated poorly. And then when we had the whole story, it's like, okay, no, this is all stuff we already knew. It's a nothing burger. But again, JDA and Grummz and people were just resharing it as if they had like the smoking gun in the situation. I'm like, guys, this is all stuff we already knew. And then, of course, the usual people were attacking me saying, you're just sweeping for this game. I'm like, I don't care if you hate the game. You can hate the game. You can hate the developer. It's just like this. You can hate Mark Kern. You can hate Grummz. This is information we already have. I don't understand how this warrants a 45-minute video, a part 2 to his first video. There's nothing here, you know? Trying to get the lemons to follow the hate. That's kind of what it feels like, you know? There's just nothing here. And I skipped, 20 minutes in here where he's just rehashing shit that he's already talked about. Jump ahead to the important stuff, and there's nothing here. I don't know. It's just retarded. Oh, what do we have now? Oh, God, I don't want to talk about Amouranth. I feel like that is just... yeah, Gamergate 3. Good luck with that. How about this? Nobody's allowed to lead any Gamergate movement if they've never played video games. If they don't play video games. I want to see, hey, if somebody is able to, through legal means, and I don't mean like hacking, I don't mean like spying or like sifting through illegal information online. But if somebody was actually able to find a Steam account that was owned by John Delarose, I would love to have a look at it, right? I would love to have a look at it. Because that man claims that he buys video games or plays video games. He's like, well, I'm not going to pay this full or pay full price for this game. I'll buy it on sale. Bitch, you don't buy any games because you don't play video games. So you've already admitted that. Trump sidelining Netanyahu. Yeah, I saw something about that. Although then I saw apparently Netanyahu was in a private meeting saying that they're going to need to get weaned off of U.S. aid, and I'm like, cool. I'm cool with that. Tom Cruise being a boss. I was just talking with my father-in-law about this tonight. I'm like, I don't think I've ever watched a single Mission Impossible movie. To me, they all look really stupid and repetitive. But I think the actual action scenes, like the stunts for those movies, are incredible. He probably does on some of those more questionable games. Ask him to screenshot his account details? Nah, I blocked him. I had a private conversation with Master of the TDS, and when I asked him, I'm like, okay, I'm not gonna make things worse for you, but I asked him, did you block John Del Rose? And he said yes. I'm like, okay, I'll go ahead and block him now. But when he was going after Master of the TDS, I'm like, I don't want to just block John Del Rose and make life worse for people he's already going after. But once I found out that he had already chosen to block him, I'm like, yeah, fuck him, I'll just block him too. Let me see. Leader is stupid anyways. So the reason it's successful is due to being leaderless. Leaderless revolution's the thing, and it's extremely effective. Yeah, I mean, for sure. The movies are great, actually. Dude, I haven't watched any of them, man. Just 1 and 2. San Marcos, Texas is paying Israel $10 million a year, and the government of Texas called the city of San Marcos anti-Semitic for wanting to cut the payments. See, that's the thing. I despise the terminology of anti-Semitism because it gets lumped in with again. I'm not even going to go down this road because it's a dangerous topic to talk about. It's just messy. But everything, if it's just like calling people racist or bigot, if everything is anti-Semitic, then anti-Semitic no longer means anything. You know, it's like call things are what they are. Don't just call everything like blanket terms. You know. Isn't Cruz the unofficial head of his church? I don't know. I don't know if he's actually that one, if he's the head of Scientology or if he's just... the thing is, did you guys watch those Leah Remini documentaries on Scientology? That shit was insane. So the thing about Scientology was that, again, they recruited actors and musicians and entertainers because of their influence. And they would use their influence to convince people to give their money and spend their time and all that other shit, you know? Now this looks like a job for me. That's my my oldest son's walk-up song, at least it was to start the season. Thing that's nice about Helldivers is there's no leader, you just get reinforced. Yeah, it's organized. God, did you guys see that shit about how apparently the Helldivers 2 update adds, you know, a cape and a sword, and it just makes the game even more fascist? I'm like, shut up, man. Just play the game. Leia Remini's a babe. I mean, she's aging really well. Not gonna lie. She looks really good for her age. Ghost Protocol? I think Ghost Protocol is the one my father-in-law was telling me if I was gonna watch one, just watch that one. I don't know. I didn't watch any of the recent 007 movies. I watched 1 or 2 of the Daniel Craig 007 movies, and at first I thought he was good. I liked Daniel Craig as 007 at first. I think it was Casino Royale. But anything beyond that, I just don't. I don't trust Remini either. No, for sure. I mean, she seems a little off. No question there. Yeah, L. Ron Hubbard died years ago. Which is the funniest thing, because his entire shtick was that if you can expand your mind and open your mind to where you can heal yourself, you don't need doctors, you don't need medicine, you can get to this place in your mind where you can actually leave your body and you can heal your body and all this stuff and basically live forever. And then the man died, and nobody questioned their entire religion, like their entire cult, because at this point it's like, if that man was right and you could do this shit, how come he didn't do it? I mean, surely he's the one that has to be able to do this, right? He's the one that wrote their freaking religion. Doom's premise doesn't use symbolism from real life, and that's what makes it authentic. Well, yeah, but then you had JDA trying to say that Doom is based in Christian. Even though there's no Christian religion in Doom, it's just, again, it's a whole nother thing. I didn't realize how much of a mythology was written for Doom until I played, I think it was Doom Eternal. Didn't know I was certified level 1 in Was it diagenetics? Diagenetic? I can't remember what the term is, but yeah. No, dude, I watched the first 2 or 3 seasons. I think it was 3 seasons that they had of that Scientology show. It was quite interesting. Decent sci-fi writer. His little trip with South American boys that mysteriously disappeared overboard right before he reached port. Oh, God, man. Ugh. But hey, we got a new pope, right? That's cool. Oh, man. What's on your want-to-watch list? The Man from Uncle. UNCLE. I don't know about that one. Around we're clearing as the Lord of Grabies or something. So, Doom, it's hell, but again, as I recall from like one of the more recent games, don't they have like otherworldly beings that like again, kind of like how a lot of people have like the whole idea that aliens created humanity, kind of like the Alien universe with the architect or whatnot. I thought that Doom had the same kind of thing, that there was other like angelic alien type people from like a different universe. Am I wrong? I thought that's kind of how Doom went. Ghost Protocol is a Mission Impossible movie. Yes. Yeah, Henry Cavill for 007 would be fine. It's never gonna happen. Doom or Dune? Doom with an M. Dune, I know nothing about. You can think of Doom Hell like eldritch horror, extra-dimensional creatures. There you go. Dark Ages is hell plus Lovecraftian cosmos, right? Did it censor Empress's question? I don't see it anywhere here. Oh, I don't know why the last Mission Impossible failed. The movie was amazing. I don't know. Did it fail? Alright guys, I'm probably going to call it a night. I am super tired, and I'm going to have a very, very long work day tomorrow. And I got to get back to my son's game tomorrow night by 7, so if I work all day, come home, I might be able to get home an hour before his game, I don't know. But in order to do that, I got to get a good night's sleep. The one with Cavill is great, but after that movie, it's the latest one, which is even better. If he goes to hell and kills demons, where did the demons go? Dude, now you're talking about like the entire issue with Supernatural. Like that Supernatural, the entire thing was you had the demons and the angels, and they both basically they were good demons and bad angels also. So it made the whole mythology, the theology side of it really weird. And then you had the demons and angels killing each other. And it's like, well, where do they go when they die, you know? Then they created that like other place, the void or whatnot. I don't know. Season 4 of Supernatural was like the last really good season. They go to Ohio. Freaking Ohio, man. Oh, I'm glad I'm not from Ohio. Everyone shits on Ohio. Yeah, glad to see you, Patriot. See a barber? I need to. I got to do something with this. It's getting a little like on the outside here, a little much. I still try to like to comb it and brush it down, but it just has a mind of its own. I can't do anything with it. All right, guys, I'm gonna split. Again, massive shout out NS. 25 gifted memberships, dude. Holy crap. And then, of course, the raid from Moxie, raid from New Blackstreet. And, of course, the super chats. You guys have been freaking awesome, especially given the fact that these streams are harder and harder to prepare for, given the fact that I have, like, no free time. So just you guys, turning up and hanging out and having a good time with me, I really appreciate it. From Jersey, everyone hates my state. We hate everyone. Hey, at least, Cage, you got that going on. You have that reciprocal hate. Everyone would pay you a visit if you support demons. Ohio looks like a tractor? I've never noticed that. Grow a full Mujahideen. No, we're not going to go with the Mujahideen. I've already been told that if I darken my skin, like if I spend any time out in the sun, I'd look like a friggin' terrorist. I'm not going that far, man. There's no way. Oh my god. At least the Garden State movie was decent. I don't know. I'm so far behind on movies and games and all that shit, guys. These streams do take minimal effort. You're not wrong. Alright guys, I'm gonna hit the hay. And again, we're gonna have, hopefully by Wednesday's stream when we're checking out Doom, I'm gonna try to incorporate DB Wild's new AI song that he created for me. Man is a mad genius with the AI stuff, so I'm looking forward to doing that. Get some new videos out tomorrow, and I will catch you guys Wednesday night if the game releases Wednesday, I believe it does. We'll be checking out Doom the Dark Ages. Hopefully we don't fry my computer. We're just gonna have to risk it and see. Maybe it'll give me an excuse to finally spend the money I don't have on a GPU. I don't know. Yeah, Cage, I'm glad that you hung out and stuck with us. It's been a lot of fun. All right, guys.